Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me once again. This is Alicia. It is Sunday the 20th. It's about 81 degrees, nice and breezy. So I thought this would be a perfect day to make this video outside here while I enjoy the breeze and the nice sounds that that nature provides for us. But anyhow, I wanted to, there's a lot to talk about, but I wanted to narrow this particular time with you on digestion. Now, digestion, most people know that it's what goes through your stomach and your intestines and ultimately what comes out at the end, right? But the more I studied our digestive system, I learned quite a bit of things, and I learned some things that are so interesting that I thought I just had to share with you. And so first I want to read something that I read earlier this week, and it's by Robert Boyle from 1690. Imagine that. And this is what he said that really resonated with me. It is highly dishonorable for a reasonable soul living in so divinely a built mansion, such as our body, as the body you reside in, to be totally unacquainted with its exquisite structure. Robert Boyle, and that was from 1690. Imagine that. So of course I looked up exquisite because, you know, it's those kind of words where you know it's something, you know, just something out there, beautiful, whatever. But I looked it up, and exquisite means extremely beautiful and typically delicate, lovely, elegant, graceful, magnificent, superb, excellent, wonderful, etc. That is our body, what we reside in. And that took me to Psalm 139, where I've mentioned it almost in every video that I've made. I will praise you, God, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And in other scripture, in Genesis, it does say that we are created in His image, and so that's what I want to start with. That our bodies are we're so unacquainted with this body. Actually, most of us are, and I was up until maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where I really started investigating and really learning to learn my body, so that I could take care of it better, and it will. I learned that the body will heal itself if you give it what it needs. And so I learned a few things not too long ago, and I just ran with them, and I decided I have to take care of my body. It's the only one I have, and at 57 years old, I actually feel better than when I was 25 or 30, because at that time I didn't know what to eat and why to eat it and when to eat it. So now there's a lot of things that I know, and I can't possibly share everything with you because there's just too many things. There's just too many things about health and wellness that I'm still learning, and I'll never stop learning about health and wellness as long as I'm alive. There's just too much to learn and too much to know, and that's awesome. So I wanted to start with first our digestive system. Whatever we put in our mouth goes down that, the esophagus, the stomach, the small and the large intestine, and all the way down to the anus, where it's expelled. But let's start first with the mouth. And a lot of people don't know, I didn't know, that your mouth is the first organ of digestion. That's where under your tongue and just different parts of your mouth, you have salivary glands, and different enzymes are released anytime you start, anytime you put something in your mouth. And so, and even have you ever noticed when you see something, you're hungry, like I am now? I haven't eaten since yesterday, but anyhow, I'm fasting. So have you noticed when you're watching something and it looks so good and your mouth begins to water? Those are enzymes, and those come from your tongue, and your mouth just waters when you think of a steak when you're hungry. So anyhow, your digestive system, it consists of mechanical and a chemical breakdown. And mechanical, I mean by when you chew your food, and there's things that you do. You grind, you use your teeth to break down the food before you swallow it. And then the chemical breakdown is where the enzymes break down the certain macronutrients that you ingest, which are the carbs, the proteins, and the fats. And so our saliva, that's why I tell people, I've learned that the minute you put something in your mouth, your enzymes begin to break down, primarily starch. There's an enzyme, amylase, that begins to break down the starch, which is anything, flour, bread, cereal, oats, anything starchy, carbohydrates. That's what your mouth begins to break down as starch. It doesn't break down protein that happens in the stomach. It breaks down the starch first, your mouth. And the saliva, that's why I learned not to drink when I'm eating. And it's very important that you don't do that, because you're not allowing the enzymes to break down the food that you've put in your mouth. So they don't need your help. The enzymes don't need your help. And as a matter of fact, you're watering down your enzymes by drinking while you eat. So that's something that I learned, and that's why I'm drinking this, and I drink water every morning before I eat, because I never drink while I eat, because I want my enzymes to do what they were designed to do. God knows what He did when He created us. And so that's what those enzymes are for. So our saliva is like 99.4% water, and the rest of it is enzymes and other little things, but it's primarily 99% water. So when you put something in your food, you're supposed to take a bite. This is what I do, and it takes practice. I didn't always do this because I didn't know. And so you take a bite of something, put the fork down or the spoon, and chew at least to begin with 10 times. Go 20. Take your time. Chew, and let your saliva and your enzymes break it down before it goes down here and into your stomach, so that additional chemical breakdown occurs in your intestines and your stomach. So what I want to mainly say too is children, especially those of you that are pregnant, those of you that have little babies. I wish I had known this. I did kind of do a lot of things correctly, but when a baby is born, there's a reason why they're supposed to be nursed. And thank God I nursed my daughter for 8 months. I wish I had done it for at least a year or two until she got until her molars came in. When a baby is born, they don't secrete. There's an enzyme called Ptylin, 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 Ptylin amylase, and it's produced by the salivary glands, and it begins a breakdown of starch, but it's not released when the baby before the baby gets the molars. So for the first 8 to 12 months, a baby should not eat cereal, bread, any carbs, because their enzymes have not been developed and they can't break down that starch. So guess what? Babies, you know how some babies get a little pot belly? It's because the starch is going directly down to their stomach, and they're not designed to break that down. They're eating too much. They're eating starch before their time, basically. So I didn't know this. I wish I had. But we just didn't know. And you don't have to feel guilty or bad about it, because I know I did for a couple of minutes, but then I thought, hey, I didn't know. And so you don't know, but I'm hoping that if you know someone that's pregnant or someone that has a newborn or a little infant, to maybe pass this information along to them, because it's so important. And so I want to tell you that a baby shouldn't be fed until okay, they get their little milk teeth, right? They get four on the top, four on the bottom. They're called milk teeth because that's what they're supposed to be ingesting, milk, primarily, preferably the mother's milk. And if for some reason the mother can't nurse, you get goat's milk. You should not use cow's milk. Cow's milk is for calves. They're not for humans. And so I don't drink milk. I haven't had milk in maybe at least 15 years. And when I used to before that, I would get a stomach ache, cramping, and I just didn't know that. You have to listen to your body. At the end of the day, you have to listen to your body. And I wasn't doing that. And so I always had that bulge, and I just never felt well with milk or ice cream, but again, I didn't know. But so the children, the babies, they should get, after they get their baby teeth, then you get the molars, which are for grinding and for breaking down carbs and grains and anything else. So a baby basically should not eat anything like that until, at least 8 months to a year. And you notice when people, I used to do that, you put the spoon of some Gerber food or whatever, and they spit it out, and then you push it back in, and that defies reason. But we just didn't know that we didn't know. And so you wanna wait till the baby is can stand up. When the baby can maybe feed himself, that's when they should eat food. And when you do, a mother dictates what the baby has a taste for. You don't want to start them eating cereal and milk when they're a year old, and a lot of parents do that. I fortunately didn't do that because I wasn't raised with cereal. I was raised with eggs and things my mother cooked. My mother was old school, and so that's what I wanted to mainly tell you about children. They are not designed. They don't have what it takes to break down starch, and so that's one thing I learned not too long ago. And you want to say, and your next question might be, well, what do I feed my baby when they do have this Ptylin that their body produces? Well, you can start with avocado. Puree the avocado. It's high in fat, like the mother's milk, and it's got a lot of enzymes, and it's easy to digest. So I've seen that on Instagram. I've seen one child eating avocado when they're just maybe a little less than a year old, or just walking, and that's wonderful. That is so wonderful. Avocado. And maybe take this down. Puree produce that begins with P. Prunes, peaches, pears, peas, and plums. And these are great for the baby's digestive tract. Also sweet potatoes and eggs. And that would be like around 8 to 12 months. But eggs are wonderful. Don't believe anything about this cholesterol, about all this. It's just nonsense. That is good food that God gave us for a reason. And so scrambled eggs, a boiled egg, a poached egg, some avocado. Remember, you dictate what your baby has a taste for. You don't want to start giving them cookies at 6 months old to shut them up, or because they want something to suck on. When they have baby teeth and before they get their molars, they're in that sucking mode, and so you want to give them maybe a steamed green bean or some kind of green thing that they can just suck on it and get the taste for it. And babies, how they walk around, they're crawling and they put everything in their mouth. They'll put a caterpillar in their mouth if they see one. So you want to give them a string bean or something green, a pea or a celery stalk, something they can suck on, and they get a taste for food, real food. And so I just wish more young people or people with babies would be more mindful of that babies are just not ready for starch before their molars come in. So, but there's a lot of options. Remember, there's your avocado and all those peas that I mentioned, the prunes and peach, and I will put that on the bottom of the video, so you can refer to that. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, just click on subscribe and click on the little bell, and it will let you know when I make the next video, which I'm trying to make them every Friday. And And I don't always do it every Friday, but I try to. It's Sunday, but I made one earlier this week. And so the next video will be on the pharynx and the esophagus, because it is, the digestive tract does involve the mouth, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, the rectum, and finally the anus. And they're all connected. And then of course you have your accessory organs, the liver, the gallbladder, the amazing pancreas. Oh my goodness, the things that most people don't know, that I didn't know. It's amazing. But anyhow, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, just, comment below. And I just want to leave you with another saying that I love to read often. God's gift to you is life. What you do with that life is your gift to Him. And living a full life always involves your health, because if you're not healthy, I don't care what you have or how smart, intelligent you are, you cannot enjoy this life if you're not healthy, if you're always sick and in pain and taking medication and what do you call it? The insulin, injecting insulin and all these things. You cannot enjoy life. And so the more you get to know your body, like Robert Boyle said, this is an amazing vessel that we have. And the more you familiarize yourself with it, the more you'll understand how it works, and when to eat, how to eat, and why eat certain things. And so that's what I'm going to cover little by little every week. And I also wanted to tell you in Proverbs 1:5, Proverbs is in the Old Testament, and it was written by King Solomon. And it reads, "A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel." And so that's pretty awesome, I think. I mean, knowledge, now, not just knowledge is power. That's not so much true as applied knowledge is power, because there's people that know all kinds of things, but they don't know how to apply it to their life. And so a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. The more you learn and the more you apply it to your life, the fuller your life will be, the happier you'll be, the more relaxed you'll be. You won't be so stressed, and all those things that come with when you don't have understanding, or when you don't know certain things about your body. Why are you acting that way? It could be stress, and where does that stress come from, and how is food related to that, and so on and so on. So it's just so much. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to end with that, and I hope that you had a great weekend, and I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I hope that you can begin eating your meals without drinking anything, so you don't interrupt with the enzymes that are doing their work. And I hope to see you Friday for some more things about our amazing digestive system. Be well, be blessed, and thank you again, and have a great day.